Hello everyone. Welcome back to class. Today let's move to fourth chapter, Urbanization. What is urbanization? Urbanization is the process by which towns and cities grow. It is marked by a gradual increase in the proportion of people living in urban areas as compared to rural areas. Urbanization is largely the result of rural urban migration. So, what is rural urban migration? We have studied before in the chapter Migration. Rural to urban. People migrate from rural areas to urban areas for access to better employment opportunities, better living conditions, and better infrastructure. For example, in India, the metros of Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata attract many migrants from rural areas and a natural growth in urban population. The first major spurt, that is, sudden rise in urbanization, occurred in the 18th century when, as a result of industrial revolution. What is industrial revolution? For thousands of years, goods like cloth, tools, weapons, and pottery were made by people in their houses using simple handheld tools. Then, in the 18th century, in England, steam powered machines were invented that could spin yarn and weave cloth at a fraction of the time it took people to do the same work. The production of goods now moved from the houses of craftspeople to factories, where the goods could be produced on a large scale using large machines. This system of using machines to mass produce goods in factories brought about such a radical change in the lives of people that it came to be called the Industrial Revolution. Many of the things we take for granted today, like electricity, cars, trains, telephones, television, computers, and even large shopping centers, are a result of the Industrial Revolution. Many workers began to migrate from rural areas to urban centers in search of employment in factories. With the further development of industries, technology, housing, and transportation, more people began living in urban areas. When population becomes more in urban areas, city expand. Let's take example of Shivamogga. Many areas of Shivamogga was covered by forest and field. As the population increased, Shivamogga city began to expand. At present, around 54% of the world's population lives in urban areas, and this proportion is expected to increase to 66% by 2050. What are the causes of urbanization? There are many factors that encourage the movement of people from rural to urban areas. Let's see which are the main ones. The increasing use of machines for agriculture processes like plowing, sowing, harvesting, and threshing has left many agricultural workers jobless. Old agricultural processes needed many workers for plowing, sowing, harvesting, and threshing. But nowadays, because of machines, many workers became jobless. These people move to towns and cities to work in factories as unskilled or semi skilled laborers. Skilled craftspeople like weavers, blacksmiths, and carpenters have become jobless because their job has been displaced by machines. So they are moving to urban centers in search of better job opportunities. Here, their skills are absorbed by emerging industries and factories, and those industries and factories are growing using this craftspeople. People living in urban areas have better access to facilities like piped drinking water, electricity, and efficient systems of transport and communication. Medical facilities are usually more advanced and easily accessible in urban areas. This attracts people who have health issues and needed access to medical care. The distribution of goods and services and opportunities for trade and commercial transactions are better in cities than in rural areas. Opportunities and facilities for education are better in towns and cities than in rural areas. Employment opportunities are also greater in urban centers than in rural areas. Thus, one of the main causes for urbanization is the increasing need felt by people living in rural areas to take advantage of the opportunities, facilities, and better standard of living found in urban areas. So, this is about today's class. Refer textbook, learn well. See you in the next class. Thank you.